Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Undergrad and Overtired. Today I thought we'd kind of discuss some hospitality horror stories, especially alongside uni. For me, having a job, I feel like I've experienced some really funny things. So this is my, now ex-co-worker Isis. We used to work together at a tea room, but you've now left since.
Yeah, after 3 years.
Yeah, it's a long time. I don't even know how long we worked together,
Yeah, so
roughly.
a long time. I was there for too long.
Yeah. Where we worked, very unique place, I'd say. So it's a themed tea room. We all have to wear little maid dresses. And
little laced aprons.
Yeah, with little frills around the edges. So I thought we'd just kind of share some funny stories we've been through, because we have regular customers. I feel like you have that kind of everywhere. Yeah. Especially in the tea room.
A lot of regulars.
Yeah. Go on, pick your favourite. Tell me.
Oh, probably the blood man. Malcolm.
Yes. Malcolm has come in before. I didn't realise it was Malcolm.
No.
But it was Malcolm.
There was, I didn't realise for about the first year I worked there it was the same person. So Malcolm used to come in and he'd sit there for most of the day. He'd either come with his sister or his carer, but he would, what table does he sit on, to be fair?
He'd always sit on table two. The tea room is laid out in kind of like a rectangle, so he'd always sit near where we make the drinks at the front.
And there was no space. It's the tiniest space on the planet, that you can't get through. You can't walk through the aisle without banging into people's chairs.
Yeah.
But Malcolm donated blood ages ago, and it's all he can talk about. And it's he has a hatred of pound coins and 50p coins.
No, it's £2 coins, because I tried to give him change and Bo was like, do not give him a £2 coin unless you want to ruin his day. And I was like, oh, sorry.
I mean, to the point where he would take about an hour to leave. He'd be like, I'm going. Be like, oh, right, bye, Malcolm. Oh, wait, no, I haven't gone yet. And he'd pop his head back around the corner, to the point where it was so annoying the chef used to hide in the kitchen. So when he came downstairs, they didn't have to talk to him.
Same thing as when Malcolm comes in, there's specific things he's not allowed to order on the menu, purely for the purpose of it interfering with the toilet system in the tea room. Yeah. I don't know if that's a bit too TMI to say, but in terms of, I feel like that kind of summarises the kind of people
whoever
that
the poor KP was tend to be sent downstairs to not let him go into the bathroom.
Yeah, put out the wet floor sign just so he couldn't come in.
But I used to dread when Malcolm would come in. I'd be on orders and I'd be like, someone else has to do it. I can't. It takes about 45 minutes to get his order out of him.
Same with have you ever met the baked bean man? The one that he has all these wooden necklaces, really chunky, and he loves ponchos. And he would come in and he orders a jacket potato, but he always wants the beans without the sauce. Yeah. Which I have a fear of baked beans anyway.
I've never tried a baked bean.
No,
I have no idea.
It just doesn't really strike me as my kind of thing. But he asks for the beans with no sauce, so Carol boils them dry, and then he eats the beans one by one. And I'm like, you're paying the money for this.
But this is the lady who used to take the peas out of the
the skins
case, and she would sit there from 9:30 until 5 o'clock, and she'd fall asleep with her fingers in the custard from her dessert. She'd sit there all day.
I'm just like, where do these... I feel like they all congregate. They just find each other.
All the weirdos of the world come to the tea rooms, basically.
And it's just... I don't know, it's some right characters. Go on.
I saw Betty the other day.
I don't know which one that is.
Betty's the one who... I don't know. She used to have strawberry milkshakes, but we stopped doing those. We come and have 6 and refused to pay for them. She used to be an alcoholic. And then when I was doing my placement in the RUH, I was her student nurse. Oh. But she thinks my name's Heidi. But she thinks student nursing was Heidi, and then worked with Isis, and she never realised it was the same person.
Brilliant.
But Betty terrifies me when she used to come in.
Oh my gosh.
But she saw me the other day in town with Ollie.
Yeah.
Terrifying. She came up to talk to me and I was like, please no. Please speak to me. I was like, please no. And she was like, when did you leave the treatment? And I was like, ages ago. Oh my gosh. I left in September.
I left and then I came back because I needed the money.
The first time I left for 4 weeks.
And then you came back.
And then I came back. Yeah. They gave me money as a good luck, well done, and then I came back for weeks.
Oh my gosh. I feel like on that note, so I thought, considering we've been through some kind of hellish experiences, I've asked everyone on Instagram to kind of share their own experiences. I printed them out so we can kind of have a little discussion and just kind of see. So feel free, go for it, see what's on that. I've kind of roughly read them, but not really, so we can kind of react together.
So someone's put in, one time this woman ordered a vegan salad dish where I work. She then sent it back and went ballistic, claiming we had used an oil in the dish that wasn't vegan. So she kicked up a fuss and sent it back. We then take it back out to her when it's fixed, and she asks for cheese to go on top. Not vegan cheese, just regular cheese.
That's such a hospitality thing. People will always be like, oh, can I have it this way? And you give it to them the way they ask. I didn't want that.
No.
I was like, what?
I was like, I'm not paying for it now.
No, exactly. I'm like, well, sorry, this isn't really my...
I suppose is most oil vegan? I don't know.
I don't know.
But I mean, if you're going to have cheese on it...
Then what's the point in making a fuss? I feel like some people just go out with the intention of
let's ruin some poor girl's day who doesn't like her job.
They'll do anything. They'll just be like, oh, okay, like, I can't really... Let's see. So this one, I know who has sent these in because I remember writing them. My friend works for a wedding company and there's some absolute corkers. So this one, for example, so one time I had a groom threatening one of the guests, so we had to put guards on all the doors until he calmed down. The bride in return then started threatening the groom with divorce. They'd only been married an hour. That's really bad.
That's awful.
That's really, really bad. What do you even do in that situation? Especially if you're at work, you're paid to be like professional, and this is all going off.
I'd be cackling and literally in the kitchen cackling, but I don't know what I'd do.
No.
It'd be too funny.
How do you even react to that?
You can't even pretend that's not going. I'd literally be listening. I'd feel like shush. I'd feel like I would be quiet.
Let me listen to the gossip, please. Literally. What? Another one from this person. I work for a wedding company, and once one of the bridesmaids split with her boyfriend during the wedding, so he got drunk and set fire to the groom's car. That doesn't even sound real. That actually doesn't sound like it would happen. I'm just like, what?
I think this girl might need a different job. But then also kind of the drama.
I know. I'm just like, what do you...
It's the only reason to stay in hospitality is for the drama, because it's not the pay or the hours.
No,
you only can
Let's talk about the pay situation, because I feel like that's a whole other thing about what you're getting paid for.
Yeah, because when I started the tea rooms, I was 18 as a supervisor. I was paid £6.56 an hour.
Yeah, so that's
to
illegal.
Supervise.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't illegal, but the fact that that
what was minimum wage at the time?
Yeah, it was £6.56. But they're like, we're going to make you a supervisor, but we're just not going to pay you anymore.
Yeah, it's not good. The amount of times I'm at work and I'm like, I didn't get paid enough for this.
No, but the tips make it worth it.
The tips do make it worth it. But I feel like that's another thing, especially when you're in hospitality, people getting funny about the service charge.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a really sensitive subject because obviously it's optional, which I always ask people because I'm like, do you mind it going on? Obviously it's discretionary, but some people really like, I took this woman's order literally yesterday when I was at work and I'd taken everything down, written it, and then she went, just to let it be known.
I know this woman, I remember
the blonde lady. Yeah. She went,
on table 5.
Pay service charge. No, she was on 2 yesterday.
Oh, but there's normally 2 of them, they sit on table 5.
She came in with her husband and she had like bright pink lipstick.
Yeah. And she'd always be like, I'm not paying it. It's like, okay, I was going to ask you when you came to pay it anyway.
It's fine,
okay.
you don't have to pay
But to be fair, the teams is quite sneaky.
No, it is, because it says it at the bottom of the menu.
It's like, literally hidden in the tiniest font possible.
But they don't print a bill. So then you give it to them.
It's all like paper. It's all like a handwritten system.
I know, it's me adding like £2.50 for an Americano. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what am I going to do?
No. And then, then if people put in the pot, then there's a lot of waitresses who won't tell people there's already a service charge. And then there's a lot of bad reviews.
Double service charge. Yeah. Oh, have you had any bad reviews written about you? That's a good question.
I don't think so. Not for the tea rooms.
I've had 2 written about me.
I know.
And I'd like to think I'm relatively nice as a server.
Depends on the day.
She just, for context, this lady had come in. It was a Christmas market, and
was this last year or this Christmas one?
The first Christmas I did. So yeah.
Okay, so I was still there.
Yeah, you were still there.
I remember this.
And she clearly had like a bit of a long day. She'd come in to get her tea and a cream tea or whatever. And it was just me. It was freezing because the windows by the till still were open. They hadn't been fixed, whatever. So I literally felt so ill. Just folding my napkins. Maid's dress. Yeah, in my maid's dress. And she comes in and she orders a cream tea and an extra pot of tea because you get 1 tea bag per person. Besides the point. Anyway, she comes up, she pays, she leaves. I'm like, okay, right, start shutting down for the day. This woman comes back and is like, I need to speak to the manager. And I was like, okay, not trying to stereotype, but she didn't really look like a Karen. She was like 25, quite young. And she was like, yeah, so I want to speak to the manager. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. Like, what's the problem? And she was like, well, you've overcharged me. And I was like, you asked for a cream tea and an extra pot of tea, which is what I've charged you for. And she was like, I didn't want that. I didn't want that. So I go downstairs to find our boss, the owner. I also check.
Because there is no manager.
No, exactly. There's a weird hierarchy going on. But also, she'd eaten and drunk everything. Yeah. I checked on the tray. So I was like, you could have complained when you came up to pay, and she didn't.
Or when we've walked past and we're like, are you okay? Is everything okay? All these opportunities.
Literally nothing. And then she after was like, this is disgraceful, like you threw a tray at me when I came in. I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, like I
it
didn't.
was like the rude blonde waitress threw the
the
menu on the floor, threw the trays on the counter.
I just didn't do that. She'd also taken a photo of Hannah, the other lady I was working with at the time, like a slide photo of Hannah from behind. She's attached the image to the Google review.
Oh no,
and given it
there's pictures
star.
of me in the Google reviews.
Yeah, I was like,
it's awful.
It's just not fair. But maybe
I think that's the thing that I hate at the team is because we were in the maid's dresses, people would take photographs of us.
Yeah, some woman was like, please let me get a photo for Facebook. I'm like, I'm going to be on some lady's Facebook now.
No, there was a group chat. You know the guy with the huge dog who walks around the Abbey?
The one who comes in fancy dress?
No.
The guy in the period.
No, so he took a photograph of me cleaning the tables outside, literally wiping like seagull shit off the tables. He's like, it's just very real. And I was like, I don't want this photograph on the internet, but okay. And then me and Phoebe, when we were working there, the first summer we worked together, we had two people. We had a guy propose to his now fiance outside.
At the
They left a review recently being like, we just wanted to say thank you so much to the two lovely young girls because they came back to visit us on their 1-year anniversary.
No way.
And they bought us a piece of their wedding cake after they got married for us to eat because they're like, oh, like you, because we gave them like free prosecco and we like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But they left the review. But there's a photograph that then was taken. Like they had it up at their wedding on their little slideshow.
No way.
And me and Phoebe in our maid's dress in the background. I was like, while he was down on one knee.
That's such a wholesome story.
I know. The review was quite funny to me. You should have a look at it.
I love reading because
I still read them.
Yeah, same.
I left and I still.
I was reading them. To be fair, quite positive reviews at the moment.
Yeah, because
I think that's because of
because
Crazy Vicky. Read another scenario.
Okay. Someone fell down the stairs into the customer seating area because they'd been mopped and no one had told them. Everyone does that,
yeah,
to be
it's just
fair.
awkward. I remember when Bo fell down the stairs at the bar.
I remember when I fell down the stairs at the skidded down the stairs.
It's just so humbling. Like, it's the
It's
worst
awful.
experience.
And when the trays smash, and then you're just sat there, so like...
It's the silence when everyone's
and
looking
then Carol
around
cackling. It is bad.
Oh, gosh. Read another one. Go
on. One time, a man I was serving thought I gave him the wrong kind of tea, so he grabbed my ass to get my attention.
That's bad.
That is pure hospitality, though.
It is.
The mistreatment.
Why is it our owner, he'd come round, instead of saying, excuse me, can you move out the way, hand round the waist. I'd be like, excuse me, no thank you.
It's like, please can you not bring when this man is in his 70s.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I'm really kind of good.
I just don't think it's very
But I think everyone has this, because I had that at the place I went to work after the tea rooms. But it was very well known for that. But it is bad, but it is such a thing. I don't think there's anyone who's worked in hospitality who's not experienced that. That's the problem.
Well, this one says, I was closing down at the pub I work at and this BMW pulls outside, blocking all the traffic outside the pub. The driver comes inside and asked if I was still serving when I'd closed, so I said, no, sorry, we're shut, and he drove off. 2 minutes later, he circles back and asks again if he can have a drink, blocking the road, and I said no. He asked if I was new, and at the time I was newish, so he went, okay, I'll let you off. But if you'd been here longer, I would have caused a scene and smashed up the bar. Next time, don't refuse me a drink. He then got in his car, drove away, and smashed into a curb. What do you do if that happens?
It's like, if you're closed, you're closed. It's not like if you're new, then we'll stay open.
That's another thing. Where I used to work at home, this lady came in and was like, oh, can I have a cup of tea? The chairs are in front of the doorway, all the lights are off. No, really sorry, we're closed.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, I'm really sorry, like I deserve a cup of tea, I'm a customer. I was like, it's not in my place to do that, I'm really sorry.
Decide how much we stay open. But I had that before, so at the tea rooms there was like a very specific pastry that you could only get in 2 places in Bath.
Yeah.
And only a certain number is ordered each day. If you run out, we used to run out in the summer within the first hour and a half of being open.
Yeah, they're so popular.
And so we'd have people come in as we're closing, 5 o'clock, lights are off, everything. Like, I've come in to get one.
Yeah,
and it's like,
I've come all this way, I need one.
They're like, well, I've come all the way. It's like, I'm from Texas. Like, that's wonderful. I ran out 4 hours ago. Like, I can't do anything. I'm like, but I need one. I've come so far. It's like, I'm closed. Please leave me alone.
I know.
And it's like, I can't produce one for you on the spot. It's like, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, you should have planned your day better.
Oh, it's just also that and the rivalry between the place around the corner from us that sells a similar product. And I think a lot of people get confused.
Yes.
and it causes a whole day of people come in and you say, no, sorry, I don't have that. Oh, do you have this instead? No. They'll fully go out and leave and just like slam the door.
So rude though. Or what it's like being told, it's like, oh, well, you don't know though. It's like, I know what I'm talking about. It's like, I know if we don't have something.
I know. Or they're like, can you check? And I'm like, the baskets are here. I'm empty, sorry.
There's nothing here. Like, I can go check with the chef. I can go check in the other one. It's like, there is none. There's not a single one on site, unless you'd like it from the freezer.
Yeah, exactly.
But they've been frozen for a week, so you probably don't.
It's up to you if you'd like a fresh bun or not.
Oh God, I remember when April one time, it was either April or Marcy, served it, and it wasn't frozen. But like it was a sugar cube in the middle.
Yeah.
And they went, oh, sorry, I probably just took it out of the freezer and didn't defrost.
They just gave them a frozen one.
No, it wasn't frozen.
Oh,
it was
because
the
of the sugar
cube,
lump.
But they then admitted that we do freeze. And another woman thought it was a piece of onion inside.
I had someone think it was an ice cube. I was like, that's really impressive that you think we've managed to get an ice cube inside a bun.
Something with an ice cube
and
in it. stayed there.
Yeah.
But no, I think people just assume that anyone who works in hospitality is stupid.
No, I agree.
I feel so spoken down to.
Exactly. People in hospitality, loads of my friends have other jobs in hospitality, and I feel like we're really not given enough credit. Not trying to sound like, oh, all about me, praise me, but like sometimes you do have to deal with some pretty like weird scenarios, as we kind of like touched on, and we deserve the credit.
I think so, and to be paid more.
Yeah, exactly. That would be a lovely bonus.
Yeah. What else have we got?
Yeah, have you got one more, and then we'll kind of.
We've got one woman told me to fuck off because I didn't bring her Victoria sponge at the same time as her drinks. I'd only been working at the cafe a few weeks. But it's like that disrespect. It's like, my hands are full. I can't carry everything for your table of 10
exactly
in one go.
Same as me. If I was told that by a customer, I'd be really offended.
I'd probably cry.
Yeah, same. I've cried at work before. When
I think there was one before I left. There's probably about a month. I think I cried every single day.
Yeah, I had a man throw a Coke at me once, and I was like, "Oh, that wasn't very nice." Burst into tears.
But it's like when you're there, your hands are completely full, or you'll have your tray full of drinks. Like, I've got the tea. Silence. Oh, I ordered a coffee. Cool. But like, that's not what I'm offering you right now. Or it's like, oh, we've got 2 more things coming. It's like, okay.
They're coming. I wish I could turn around and be like, well, I've only got 2 hands.
Yeah, it's like, also, the plates are burning my hands. Could you please tell me whose food is for who?
That's such a thing, isn't it? We're like, so I've got this and this, and people are looking like.
Yeah. They're like, well, I had the pizza. It's like, okay.
What am I going to do? There's nothing.
No. It's impatience. It's like, you do my job.
I know.
You can do the job.
Exactly.
That's all right.
But it is what it is. Have you got any other funny stories to share? I can't really think of anything. I feel like we've exhausted.
I've tried to block out most.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of the teams from my mind, to be honest with you.
Most of the work has been done.
I'm trying to think. I'm not sure. So it's generally the Christmas market, people throwing their rubbish in through the windows.
Another prime example.
Yeah. What else do we have?
The pigeons, the seagulls.
The seagulls swallowing the cream pot, then vomiting them up around the corner and being sent to pick them up. My maid's dress, like scrabbling around on the floor.
Scrabbling in the cobbles for the bits of regurgitated cream. It's horrible. It's so bad.
It is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's a very humbling job.
For the record, the place we work, it's not that bad. I feel like we're just on the end, a lot of the receiving end of it being the staff.
No, it just has some quite low moments.
Yeah.
But actually, like, I was there for 3 years. It did what I needed it to. I just got fed up.
I've been there for 2 years in September. It does the job.
Have you?
Yeah, I know,
That's
crazy.
disgusting.
It's gone so fast.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was there for 3 years.
No. Alongside uni, it's been fine.
But I was full-time for 2 years of that.
Yeah, no.
I was only part-time for about 6 months.
That's actually awful.
It was horrible. But then like this time last year when I was still there, I was at uni and working 45-hour weeks.
Yeah, that's
And I was like, oh, I'm going to die.
I know. I don't know how you've done that.
I don't know why. I did that. Well, I needed the money, but...
Oh no, I didn't think...
But...
I know.
Yeah.
It's a crazy experience.
Balancing uni and hospitality is impossible because they don't understand. It's like, I have other stuff to do.
Yeah, it's a lot to have to balance, like schoolwork, obviously the uni assignments outside of your allocated hours, and then also hospitality as well.
They're just like, oh no, you'll be here. It's like, I can't work a 12-hour shift. I have got a degree.
Yeah, I've got a life outside of where I work.
Or I'd quite like to have a life.
Exactly.
I haven't, but no time.
I know. Well, kind of on that note, I think we're just going to have to wrap it up. I can ramble for days, but thank you so much for coming on, having a little chat. I hope you've heard some crazy stories. But yeah, thank you so much for listening and, well, watching as well. I hope you've enjoyed the episode.